All right, for this week's analysis, we have to start on the monthly time frame since this is the beginning of the month. So, as what we're expecting to see last month, we wanted the bearish candle to close below the previous month, which it did. So we are going to highlight where the candle closed, which is below our very previous month. So we're going to put an area around that area because I believe it's important. And the high, even though price is a little bit too far from where the high for the last month is, we're still going to highlight it just a little bit to keep that in mind because it is still close enough for price to go back up there, but it's still very far. So, but we're just going to highlight so that we can keep that in mind. Then we're going to go on the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, as you can see, where the low is, the one that I just highlighted right now, and where the previous week's low close is still above. So that's something that we need to keep in mind. If you look right here, this is our low that price needs to break, right? But this is the low that was created by the weekly time frame. That means that's where the monthly time frame closed. So it's still pretty above our initial low that we are looking at. So that means that's still something to keep in mind. However, considering that the beginning of this week, which is today, price knocked out the low of our previous month, that's also another thing to consider. So right now, I wouldn't try to be smart and beat the price. I would be patient because we have two things to consider, and those are very important things. Price fell through and broke the low. However, our previous week and monthly closed above. So is price taking out stop losses and just hitting out the low for it to go higher? What is happening? So those are things to consider. All right. And the monthly candle is no longer an inside candle. As you can see, the low went below. So something that could have been an advantage here was knocked out of the theory. So right now, as for the weekly time frame, we need to be very careful and we need to be patient to actually see what's happening right here and take advantage of that. All right. So if price stays below the low and rejects to go higher, we should see price keep falling. And where is it going to fall to next? It would be probably around this area, but this is just the low, right? This is the next low. However, before price reaches that area, there is an area which we should also keep in mind. The high of our order block. Remember, price was going higher, right? So that means the last bearish candle before price went higher, which would be this one, right? So the price in between the high and the low, very important areas, which is this area right here. So right now price has hit the high and is rejected. We'll keeping that in mind, but then the lower time frames will give us more information for us to determine around this area. But for now, that's what we know. We know that price, if price goes below this low that we have highlighted right here, price has entered the order block area. So in the lower time frames, we will be watching out to see anyway from this area right here, where could price hit and make the reversal. All right. So that's what we're keeping in mind as we go lower. As we go lower, we know that there are areas where if price stays below, we'll always be selling from a high. But there are also areas that we know if price reaches around these areas, we are watching out to see where could price bounce and reverse from. All right. So that's what we're keeping in mind as we go on to the lower time frames. Then we move on to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, as you can see, this area that I highlighted from just looking at the higher time frames is quite an important area. So if this area is an important area and price seems to have rejected, and even if you look to your left, this is the area price rejects. You can see price was rejecting, then price fell down and it created some sort of an area as well. So yeah, we can say that our higher time frame analysis is quite good. We don't have to worry about it. We might just have to adjust a few zones, but it is very good, right? Okay, so let's adjust our zones. We need to adjust this low right here. And then we're just going to highlight, we're just going to adjust a little bit. Just a little bit, just to keep it all in control. Need this on right here to come all the way right there. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. All right, still the same analysis from the lower time, from the higher time frames. We are watching our price around this area, if it's going to reject or if it's going to break through. And this area is the area that if price stays below, price should always go lower. If price goes lower below this area, then we're watching out to see if price should always stay below this area, it will always go lower. So as long as price is in these areas, we're not really looking to buy, unless if price gives us a very solid buy signal. But if price comes back and creates a new high above this one right here, we will be buying all the way to the next high. All right, we will not be selling because price has rejected this strong low, and since price created another lower high right here, if it breaks that one, that becomes the second resistance price is breaking, meaning a trend reversal. All right, so as long as price is down here, we are selling, but if it comes above this area, we are buying. All right, so that's what we are looking for this week. Now let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we need more information, but we do know that we have a minor high that we were looking at again last week. If anyone remembers, we were looking for price to reverse to this area and reject to go down. Exactly what we were seeing is what happened. We wanted price from here to come all the way down to this low, right? And then we wanted price to leave us a wick, which it did, reject this low and go higher. Not only did price leave us a wick, price left us a wick and gave us an engulfing candle, 2 confirmations, and then price created a higher low, 3rd confirmation, and went all the way up to the area's first TP, 2nd TP that we were expecting. And from here, we also expected price to go lower, right? We talked about how if price rejected to stay above here and it keeps coming down, we might see it go lower because it would have broken below our monthly level, which can only push price lower, which is exactly what price did. All right, so this should show us how we're saying if price comes above this area, right, and then selling around this area, we are now only looking to buy because price is coming back into the range that it has created, right? And the moment it breaks above this resistance, this would be this resistance. This would be resistance 1, resistance 2. And if price breaks above resistance 2, that's a trend reversal, which can only push price higher. That's what we are talking about. But if, as long as price rejects to close above this area, every sales setup that we get, we are looking to take advantage of it because we are now looking for only sales. If price goes back above this area, yeah, we can look for buys, but your buys are only ending up here. And from here, you're looking to sell back down there because there is very strong chances that price might not break this area. So yeah, price can come above. Yes, price can come above this area and you can take those buy setups, but those buy setups, you're only taking them up to here. From here, you cannot expect to buy. Only buy when price breaks above, then you buy from retest. But from here, higher chances would be sell trades because it's most likely that price will not break above this area for some time. So yes, This is the analysis for this week. We'll be updating as time goes on. Good luck to everyone, and please be patient. It's all about patience. If a price goes without you, you can always enter it at retest. Okay, we'll always catch it when it comes back down or when it comes back up for that retest. All right. Yeah, and if you don't catch the retest, you can always catch the next move, because once you have one move, you know, okay, this is the move that should be following up next. You can always catch that. All right. Okay.